everybody, KC0VI Tom here. We are going to take a look back at 2024. As I call it, 2024 for me was the year of the change. We had a lot of big changes in my life. For you longtime viewers, you know a few years back we went through that 14-month period of, I call it the year from hell, due to the fact that a lot of bad things happened to me. It really pushed me down and I was not in good places. But thanks to my immediate family, my 2 daughters and my son, and my 6 sisters and my brother, they were able to back me up and help me get going in the right foot, right direction. My 3 work family. For somebody who's supposed to be retired, I work at 3 different places. I still can't figure that out. NIAC, the North Iowa Area Community College here in Mason City. I've been with them for 30-some years. They were very supportive of me when I was trying to get back on my feet. The new company I work for, SMG, Solution Management Group, they were there helping out, whatever I needed. Made sure if I needed more time off, I was able to get it. Then, of course, the Mason City Government Group, that little family, I only work with them 2 times a month, and it's just a blast to work with. A real nice group of people, and they went out of their way to make sure I was okay. So those 3 groups really, that meant a lot to me. But mental work is something you need to work on yourself. If you need professional help, like I am seeing somebody, don't be embarrassed about it. Just go out and do it. You know, you don't have to brag about it. But let's put it this way: after the first session, I thought my gal was going to need to see a mental health expert. You know, because she just couldn't believe all the stuff that I had gone through. Excuse me, I got a itchy nose. Walter was sitting on my lap and I was writing these notes up. So, cat hair. So year of change. You know, back in January when we started the year, again we kept to the theme of chamber, museum, and city events here in North Iowa. The St. Ansgar Rescue Squad always has a real good pancake breakfast. Take a look for that coming up here in a couple of weeks. It's a real nice breakfast they serve down at the high school. You get your fill, trust me on that. Pancakes and bacon and sausages and sweet rolls. Yeah, it's real good. And on that, we did some other stuff with the chamber, Town and Country Days, Fall Festival. With the museum, we did the fundraiser and the Christmas party, and a lot of Saturdays I'd work down there helping out with the museum. If you're ever in St. Ansgar, stop in, take a quick tour of the museum. It's a lot of fun. If you remember back in last December in 23, Candy, the Chevy Bolt, went in for a battery replacement, and the loaner car they gave me was a 21 Bronco Sport Badlands Edition. I didn't even get out of the parking lot and I knew I was in trouble. This thing is nice. And at that point, I was already thinking about doing something with the Class C motorhome, the 91 Chevy Jayco. Due to the fact, Pooh, her nickname is, there's nothing wrong with that camper. It's a very good camper. If anybody looking for a nice camper to start out camping, or if they're changing sizes and they want something that's fairly inexpensive, this is a nice rig. Mentally, for me to be in that thing, there's a lot of emotional baggage. You got to remember, TLJ, my former wife Joyce, we had that for about 10 years. We did a lot of stuff, a lot of camping excursion, a lot of ham radio stuff, a lot of shopping trips, a lot of DXing out of it. And it's hard for me to go in there, even just to clean. The plan was, before we got the Broncos, I was already planning on selling it. I was going to get it cleaned up, put it on the market, then start looking throughout the summer for another rig. And the oldest daughter, Christy, wanted to come home for about a month, and she stayed in there. It's kind of nice when they stay in there. That way they can come and go without bothering me, and I can go to work and come back and not bother them. Shortly after she left, Lacey, the second daughter, she stayed in there for a little bit while she was here visiting me and some of her friends. And then I got busy around the house here cleaning up and doing other stuff, and I got to get that cleaned up and get it on the market. It deserves to be used instead of just sitting here. So if you're in the market for a motorhome, give me a call. So ended up buying the Bronco. Went in and checked on the battery replacement, and they were almost done. Excuse me. And they says, "Give me a minute here." They wanted to finish up paperwork and figure out when we were going to swap vehicles. And hold on. Went and talked to one of the salesmen, and this was Christmas Eve. Okay, pulled him out of the Christmas party and says, "Okay, that thing there, tell me bottom dollar price." And he goes, "Oh, wow, boy, I don't know." And I just dropped the checkbook on the desk because I went, "Oh, be right back." And within 2 hours, we had all the paperwork done and the vehicles in my name. Went back and just told the service department, when it's done, give me a call, put the keys under the floor mat, lock it up, and I'll come and get it. And they were surprised because I was not looking at buying a vehicle. Then I started looking at the towing capacity, and what type of trailer I could have, and we ended up getting this thing. This is Tigger, or T-I-G-G-E-R. This is a 22 New Camp Tab 320S. It's a little teardrop trailer, and for all you guys out there who knows Broncos and their towing capacity, yeah, I'm real close to towing capacities. Don't worry about it. It's just me. I know how to pack a trailer, and it works. Got it home here. I picked it up from a couple out of the Rochester, Minnesota area. He was a longtime tent camper, and she wanted to go camping with him, so they bought this. And she's not really a camper, we'll say. She likes to travel. She likes to go places, but not in a camper. She's more of a Holiday Inn gal, which is fine. If, and that's what they were going to start doing. They had a trip planned up. I believe they were going to Europe that summer after they sold this. So, and I got it home here with no problems. Parked it up on the patio. I did a couple nights practice camping out there. Had my checklist of stuff I needed. This rig has hot water heat, not forced air, which is really different for me. It's the first time I ever had a camper. First time I ever heard of a camper with hot water heat. It's a constant heat. You don't get that cold and hot cycle in a forced air system. The only drawback is it's a little longer to bring it up to temperature when you get it parked somewhere. But that's acceptable. I did, like I said, a couple of practice ones on the patio and made my little list of stuff. Started transferring all the gear out of the Class C into here. That was about the time Christy was here. She thought it was just hilarious. I'd haul stuff out and haul it, into here, then out of here, then downstairs for storage. Transferring from a large camper to this little guy, it was quite interesting. Getting out, I finally learned how to duck my head so I don't take the top of my head off. I can get in and out of the bathroom at night and flush the toilet in here. You get a big old clunk, lummus like me bouncing around here. It takes a while to find my ballerina, as she was saying, my ballerina slippers. So we got a new rig. We got out quite a few times over the summer. Went camping with some friends, did some solo ones, had a lot of fun. Check those videos out. We also picked up some car shows. I don't know, with car shows, all of a sudden they were starting to show either more of them were going on or I'm finding them easier. Also got in the boat show there in Clear Lake. I always wanted to get to that. A lot of neat old boats. Unfortunately, the Kite Festival in Clear Lake was canceled due to bad ice conditions. Hopefully this year it'll be back. So again, look for more car shows. And unfortunately, one of the big car shows in Austin I did in the following weekend, I was out there doing the art festival, and one of the gals there at the information booth, I can walk by and she goes, you, I know you. You're that guy from, what's that name of that channel? And so I got to get a mask or something when I go out and shoot videos now, so, be in incognito mode or something. Maybe a Groucho Marx, big nose, big mustache, something like that. But it was kind of funny. I thought, okay, I'm being discovered. Check my cheat sheet here. So again, we got a lot of neat shows going on. Craft shows, we're starting to go to some of those with my sisters. They're it's just fun to hang around with the sister, because now all the stuff that, without mom and dad around to throttle the language, it can be quite interesting what we end up talking about. Production wise on the channel, I have finally ditched the GoPro items this last year. They really ticked me off when they dropped the 360 support, the GoPro 360 camera. They dropped support on that, and so I ended up picking up an Insta360 X2 platform. Very nice little camera. If you don't know about a 360 camera, what it is, imagine you're sitting inside this glass fishbowl, and the camera is recording everything you see all around you, up and down. Then when you go to edit it, you're taking just that one little sliver, that one frame, and you're sliding this frame around. That's what your viewers are seeing. It's a lot of fun, and you can do a lot of neat stuff with it. For the Vane cameras, I dropped the GoPro 6 and 7 due to the fact that I was starting to run into audio issues, and I was on Reddit. I don't like to go out to Reddit because I get in so much trouble. I get in places I shouldn't be, and anyway, we won't talk about that. But it was a known problem, and GoPro simply told one guy, we're not fixing it. Go buy a new camera. So I had enough of their games, so he dropped it. I switched over to main production cameras, or what they known as the Wolfang. These are fairly cheap cameras, under $50, very good quality, as you can see, as long as I remember to hit the right setting. They use the same mounts that GoPros or the action cameras. That's why everybody's calling those type of mounts. So I can use a lot of my standard accessories. The one I'm shooting here is a 420. This is a neat little camera. It's got an LCD on the front and the back. So when I have a shot like this, I can actually check my frame, make sure I'm all in frame. I'm not cutting off the top of my head or my shoulder. I have a 320, which is similar to this one, without the extra display. I use that for my B-roll. and very easily editable. They pop them out of the SD card out, load it in the computer, and use the software and go ahead. I'm still using DaVinci. It's a free software for editing. It's a lot of neat features. I'm still learning and stuff like that. The 360 camera, I want to start using it more because the software, excuse me, Walter's here again. The software you use to edit it, I keep forgetting how to run it, so I got to relearn. Then then I don't use the camera enough to keep those brain cells fresh. So you're going to be seeing a lot of more snippets off the 360 camera. On the ham radio line, I picked up a ham clock. This is a neat little product. Ham clock software is free. You can download and run it on any Linux box. It is a tool that you can use. You can set it up with a map of the world. You can have information on there about DXing, propagation of signals. You can look at SOTA and POTA reports, solar cycle, solar events, the moon phases, and I have the output of that fed into my closed circuit feed here in the house to the security cameras. So I get home from work, I'm making supper, I can take a look at the cameras on the monitor. When that comes up, I can say, ooh, propagation looks like it's going to be real good tonight, so I'll plan on doing a little DXing. If it's not, I'll just watch the boob tube. We are in the midst of Solar Cycle 25. The peak of that should be coming up here June or July, I've heard, hopefully. Right now, we're just seeing unbelievable activity. This morning, this is on Sunday, before this is released, and we had some major M-class and X-class flares going on. So we're going to see a lot of activities, probably some more northern lights coming up here. Last summer, we had a couple real good events there. A lot of people here in St. Ansgar who've never seen the auroras. Talking to them, they couldn't believe how bright they were. And we're talking small town with street lights on, and you could still see them fairly clear. You get out in the county, out in the country, and it was just amazing, the colors. They just couldn't believe it. I've seen them before when I was younger, and it's interesting. It's an 11-year cycle. Some cycles aren't as good as others, but 25 is starting out to be very good, and it's still very good. So hopefully it continues throughout the whole cycle. Working with the Austin Area Amateur Radio Club up in Austin, we did Field Day, 4th of July Parade, the fundraiser at the Pizza Ranch, and the big one was the December club meeting where we elect new officers. I didn't get elected for anything. I kept from getting railroaded in as an officer, so I'm happy about that. Not quite ready mentally to start a project like that. The ham products coming down that we want to talk about coming up here, again, CJ1, ComJot radio. I did a couple quick videos on that. I expect to see more of those coming down. If you're not sure what a ComJot is, this is a Android telephone, cell phone, that has an RF board in there for VHF and UHF radios. It's a wideband radio. The VHF is like 136 to 174. And it's really interesting where you can add apps to it. And out of the, just out of the box, the radio will do DMR. You don't need a hotspot because you're using the cell data for your information to run your DMR. It will do Fusion, Yaesu Fusion, System Fusion. It will do DSAR. It will do P25. So it's really interesting what we can do with that little radio. Plus, since it's open source, there's already starting to be people talking about, hey, I could build an app that'll do this. APRS is pretty much automatic in it. I plan on doing a couple more reports here real soon, hopefully in January, on the progress on this. Really excited about that. I do have my name on the list for Yaesu's new little radio, the F1, I believe it's called. That's the competition against the ICOM 705, a little HF unit, battery powered, and it can 5 watts out on battery, 10 watts out on external power. Really looking for that. That's supposed to be released sometime in the first quarter of 25. I expect to see a lot of reports on that. Everybody's excited to see what that's coming down. Hopefully, Gigaparts, who I always buy my radios from, I got the ComJot due to the fact they messed up. ComJot notified Gigaparts, and they gave them a list of names to send these radios out now. They're beta testers. Somehow, Gigaparts sent it to me also, and I'm not a beta tester, but I became a beta tester. So, but again, those two products, I'm really looking forward to when they come down. Check my cheat sheet here, make sure we got everything. And unfortunately, with every good thing in a year, you always come across a couple of bad items, and we had to put little doggy down, Little Belle, Mrs. Crowley. We had to put her down in September. Her last menstrual cycle was fairly heavy, and she had an infection. And took her to the local vet here, the Cedar Valley Vet Clinic here in town. They tried their best and they ended up referring her to the Spring Valley Clinic up there. So I took her up there, and those gals tried their best to do it then. We had emergency surgery. She got a full hysterectomy, a lot of antibiotics, but she just never fully recovered. Unfortunately, that happens in life. They, both clinics told me up front, this may not be good. This may happen. Just be aware of it. And so it was not a surprise. Work let me have the whole week off during this whole trauma, and the way she went down reminded me very much how Joyce went down, became suddenly ill, surgery, tried to fix it, and just never came off the surgery right. Brought back a lot of bad flashbacks, a lot of bad memories, a lot of bad nightmares. But again, thanks to the people that are out there who stood beside me, got me on my feet, got me going. Little Dougie stole the hearts of all the gals up there at the Spring Valley Clinic, and she's always stole the hearts of the gals here down the St. Ansgar Clinic. Got a couple of real nice cards and letters from the people up there in Spring Valley. They just couldn't believe how adorable she was and how she stole all their hearts. Stuff like that happens, unfortunately, in life. And you're going to meet people that are going through the same deal. We got a couple people on campus that are going through some bad deals, and I just happened to stop in, checked on one of them one day, just told them, life sucks. If you need anything, let me know. If you want to go get a cup of coffee down at the cafeteria, give me a holler. And they appreciate that. And the other fact, when I was in there, that same boat, I really appreciate it. People just, you don't talk about it, you just want to be with somebody. So on that, got a lot of neat videos coming up. 7th year, everybody. Take care. Be sure to tell your friends, neighbors, other hams. Subscribe, hit that bell to get notification when new videos come out. Add comments below. 7th year, everybody.